So for a question like this, my first instinct is, let's go ahead and factor that numerator, and then I notice it's not factorable. Okay, so instead of that, I might then implement our tip of, even though it says don't look at the answer options right away, they'll only confuse you, which is true, it can be useful to look at the answer format to get an idea of the direction we should be going. And notice specifically options C and D, it looks like this is kind of like a remainder at the end. So then I think, okay, let's go ahead and do long division. So what we do is we rewrite the numerator as the dividend and the denominator as the divisor, basically writing it from right to left. And at this point, it reminds me of when I used to tutor my cousin when he was like 8. He's 25 now. But he taught me this from his elementary school teacher. Does McDonald's serve burgers or Big Macs? Which they do. But it's divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So for divide, let's go ahead and color code this. So let's do divide in red. So first term divided by first term. I'm going to put that off to the side. And then what we get is x to the first. So I'm going to put that up here. And it's really important that you put it in line with the term that has the same exponent. Instead of putting it above the x squared, that could make it a little bit confusing, and you'll see why. So we did our division. Now we're on to multiply. So we're going to multiply the x that we got by the x plus 5. And we know we're going to have to distribute in that case. And we get x squared plus 5x. Check. Now we're on to subtraction. Now subtraction is really just adding the opposite. So we're going to flip both signs, add straight up and down, and the first term should always cancel. If it doesn't, you know you did something wrong. In this case, even that second term cancels. So we get 0. Check. The B tends to be the one that people are like, what does that mean? But it's bring down. So we're going to bring down the 2. And at this point, we technically restart where we're going to do division again. First term, that's the new first term at this point, divided by first term. Well, that doesn't do anything, right? You can kind of see that this must be a remainder, and it is. So this plus 2 is a remainder, and at this point, you could probably guess the answer's got to be C, right? And it is. But the reason they put it over the x plus 5, think about it like this. If I had 5 over 2, that's 2.5, right? As a mixed number. Well, if I did long division, think about that process. Your remainder ends up going over the divisor. And the same is true. Remainder over divisor. Now, if you've learned synthetic division, which is actually really nice, whatever you're trying to divide, let's say x plus 5, you essentially put it equal to 0, which flips the sign, and you would synthetically divide -5 into, and then you simply write the coefficients and put zeros for any placeholders. You bring down the first term, multiply that bottom term with this -5, add, multiply again, so the 0 with the -5, add. So it's consistently bring down the first term, then multiply to get this one, add to get this one, then we reset. Multiply this with this, put it here, and then add. And then once you get this last term, this is the remainder. It goes remainder, constant, x to the first, and then this would have been x to the second, etc. if it kept going. So our answer is 1x plus 0 plus a remainder of 2 still over the divisor.